So I've just managed to find Chris Mellow Marsh wandering around on the streets, picking up bin liners. So I thought I'd ask him to come to the interview lounge and see what we can ask him today. So Chris, how's the event gone so far for you today?
Yeah, good. Obviously, the numbers are a bit down on the last event, which has kind of made it a bit easier on us. The tournament's running ahead of schedule pretty much across the board. We've had a good weekend of Call of Duty, Halo, Call of Duty on the PS3, of course, and Gears of War. The competition's hotting up now. Both the US teams travelling, both still in the tournament. We've had some upsets today as well. Prophecy have just gone out, Apex are out. So, yeah, it's been an exciting day, I think, and there's more good Call of Duty and Halo and Gears of War to come.
So, has it been a lot easier for you because there's not been as many teams at this event?
As stupid as it sounds, maybe too easy, because part of like the Call of Duty last time, of course, like we had quite a few hardware problems, quite a few internet problems, stuff like that. So as a result, we kind of had to really work hard and make sure we were hyper-organised to make sure that everything came together at the same time. And that kind of brought our admin team together, whereas this event, even with like 76 teams, you know, we've had a couple of problems. We've had to lose a couple of stations, banks of 8 Xboxes, but with that, it's still been very, very easy, and we've kind of, I don't know, in a way, like, it's nice that the event has run so smoothly, and I'm sure people will come away from this event with more positive things to say compared to the last event. But from almost like my own personal perspective, I kind of enjoyed the challenge. So, yeah, maybe too easy, but I guess that's good for the gamers.
Yeah. So can we see sort of the chaos that we had at previous EGLs at Manchester, because it's a new venue, so you don't have time to set everything out, or are you going to get there extra early like you did at this event, make sure it's all good to go, so the event runs smoothly once again?
Well, I don't think it's nothing to do really with the setup time. It's just the fact that we didn't really expect the kind of boom of teams. You know, the teams more than doubled in numbers at the last event. And I think that's more because, a new game comes out, everyone buys the game, they're like, yeah, they're really into it. They come to an event and they see the reality of what the tournament is like, how competitive it is, and it puts a few people off becoming return visitors, and that's probably why the numbers are down this time. I'd like to think the numbers will be up in Manchester because it's more accessible. It's a nicer city, the venue's nicer, the event itself is going to be bigger. We're expecting a total of about 10,000 attendees. So that should be good in itself. So I think the numbers will be up slightly in the next event, but there should be no chaos. I hope, or I expect that it will run as smoothly as this, if not smoother, as we get better at running the tournaments.
So what sort of event is it going to be like at Manchester? Is it going to be big like the Norbreck, or is it going to be bigger, or...?
Well, much bigger, like I already touched on. I think we're expecting about 5,000 visitors a day between us and the other organisers. There's going to be several areas, a Now Play area which will feature several exclusive games that I don't think I can announce yet. There's going to be a cosplay area for people who are into dressing up as video game characters. It's not really my bag, and some people are into that. There's going to be a retro area, kind of like we have here, but much larger, games throughout the ages, all that kind of thing. And then, of course, we've got the Pro Play area, which we'll be running. So obviously with the EGL area, there's a chance that we'll see tournaments return that we've previously held, maybe new tournaments coming in. So I think there's a lot for everyone, really, and I expect that we should see a great increase in numbers. And 5,000 people, it's going to be a great experience for everyone.
Yeah, definitely. I know that previously you've had StarCraft at some tournaments, but what's happened to StarCraft, and can we see League of Legends maybe come into an EGL?
Possibly.
Please. Please, Chris.
we talked to a few companies about that kind of thing. I mean, obviously we need the hardware to be able to do it, which in itself is problematic, but if we can kind of land that, get a decent deal for it, we'd hope that we'd be able to get a few sponsors in so we can kind of attract the bigger players and stuff like that. So yeah, it's, we're not ruling it out, and it's something that we'd like to get into. We liked running StarCraft before. I mean, it's no great secret that we had a problematic tournament at EGL4, but we've kind of learned a lesson there, and I think if we've got a venue with slightly more lapse times and we're a bit luckier with the pre-event setup, then we shouldn't have those issues again.
All right, so that sounds good. What can we expect at EGL9? Any ideas of where it could be?
We can't give away anything yet. We've announced the dates already for the venues next year, but
it is worth a try.
Maybe it was, but you would have been lucky there. So yeah, we've announced the dates already. We got, we should be announcing the venues fairly soon. We want people to be able to get on top of the travel, book it as cheap as possible. We've already announced it's going to be 3 days, which our original events were 3 days. We cut it down to 2 days because really at this size, 2 days is manageable. But I think we're getting to the point where we're passing that, where 3 days will just make it a lot more comfortable. We'll be able to offer a better service to gamers, and you'll get better value for money.
Do you think we could see more like games where it's like 1v1s and, you know, free-for-alls. Can we see a free-for-all coming back maybe?
Well, we've actually got, at this event, we've got a 1 vs 1 tournament in Gears of War. We're going to have an FFA in the Halo, depending on what time it finishes today. So, you know, we're kind of bringing these things in one by one. It's just a case of having the time, really. We'd like to do that for Call of Duty as well, but when you've got this quantity of teams, it's unrealistic because, you know, the early rounds take so long, and the back end of the tournament, regardless of how many teams you have, it's like a bottleneck. So you've got to play one game, then one game, then one game. So that's guaranteed to take like 10 hours or something. So with that in mind, it's like it prevents us from doing something like that in Call of Duty at the moment. But whereas we've discussed doing a double elimination bracket, or 2 separate ones, where the winner of each elimination bracket will meet in the final. And our media manager Mike, he's just shouted at me at that idea at me now. But he's convinced it's a great idea. But general feedback has been mixed because obviously that way you're only playing half the teams in the bracket. Although it's obviously something unique, it's different. So it's something that we could consider, and that way, obviously, the grand finalists will have never met before. So when they do eventually play, it means that like that will be a completely new series. We won't be seeing an extended series where, you know, as we see at other tournaments, and sometimes it gets to the final and like the finalists are so deflated because they've got a loss, you know, they're 3-0 down, they're having to battle it back, and of course that can create some great finals, but it can also ruin some great finals. And from my time in gaming, I've often found that the winner bracket final tends to be the most intense game of the tournament, rather than the grand final, which is really what should be the be all and end all. This is where you win the actual tournament, but really, you know, it doesn't always lead to that because of the continuation.
So any shout outs or anything else to say before we go?
I just would like to thank everyone who's been involved, you know, with setup, not you. Everyone who's been involved with the setup, all the refs, all the admins, well, everyone for attending, really. You know, they don't have to come this weekend, so I hope that, you know, they've come. Hopefully they've enjoyed themselves, and hopefully they'll come back, you know. They can leave messages on the forums to let us know what they think, any improvement, recommendations, nothing ridiculous like don't charge anything and stuff like that, which some people obviously do, or please just have it at my house and stuff like that, so it's dead convenient for them to get to, you know, realistic you know, suggestions or comments on the event. We're always, you know, we're all ears about that kind of thing, because ultimately we want to improve our service, so it's better for the gamer.
Okay, that's it from us here in the interview lounge, and I'm just going to say League of Legends will hopefully be at the next EGL. Thanks for watching.